not to destroy it. So why not going back to natural techniques that are very friendly? Of course, it demands more time to build a wooden boat. It's more expensive, fiberglass boat usually. But in the long term, you know, it may be cheaper.
Daniel, can I come in on those?
Yes,
those questions?
You can. Yes, please. Yeah. Okay.
I was just interested in the question about how to reintroduce sail technology to the fishing communities where it has already been abandoned. And while I obviously support the idea that those who have that skill should be, should try and keep it. There is an issue around those who now have been working with motorised vessels for many years, and where the skill is to some extent lost, or is completely lost. So the question really is how to reintroduce it, and I think that is an interesting question. I would say the answer to that is that the motivation. Why would the fishermen want to reintroduce it? And obviously the motivation is because of the expense of fuel. So as the fossil fuel energy is going up and up all the time, in order to reduce that cost to the fishermen, clearly to work with wind would be advantageous. So there is a motivation there for them to do it. The demotivating factor why they won't want to do it is because it is so much more difficult to work with a sailing vessel. It is not so manoeuvrable, but in ports you can't work with it easily. When you're actually doing the fishing operations, you can't. Well, it has been done under sail in years gone by. It is much more difficult to do under sail. So to me, it seems that the way to reintroduce this concept is to play on the fact that it's got benefits in saving money, but to remove the disbenefit of difficult to operate. So you don't say, look, change back to sail. You say that use sail as an auxiliary source of power. So you keep the engine. As new boats are built, perhaps could be a smaller engine, but you keep the engine for the difficult situations coming into port, manoeuvring while doing the fishing operations and so on. You work with the engine, but when you're making the passage to the fishing grounds and coming back and so on, that's when you would use the sail. And if the wind is not favourable, you might use the sail as an auxiliary. You just have the engine going, but still the energy would be reduced. Not the energy, the fuel would be reduced if you're sailing had the sails up as well. So that would be the way to encourage it. But then also, as you'll be working with fishermen who are not used to working with sails, rather than trying to encourage going back to the traditional rig which would have been used in the past.